Hello there. This is Ben Yost with the Direct Lending team, and I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. So basically, you can see the screen a little bit better. And so actually, I'm going to do this right. So there we go. So I'm going to go over the steps to getting pre-approved. I'm kind of doing this generically for most lenders, but I can only show you what I do. Okay. Not every lender is going to do it exactly how I do, but you can get pre-approved. First, I want to say you can get pre-approved usually within 24 hours. Okay. And I've actually gotten people pre-approved in a couple hours. So it's not a long, drawn out process, but you want to do it right. And the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification, or a pre-approval that you actually can hang your hat on, so to speak, is that you're going to go through on a pre-approval. You're going to go through either the automated underwriting and or you're going to go through a manual underwriter, on one of our in-house underwriters, to actually say yes, you can get a loan. And so if you don't do that, you're really just getting a lender's, like Tom Henry's or, Peter Paul's or whoever, whatever the name of the lender is, opinion that you might be qualified. Okay, you have to base that on something concrete through either FHA, VA, Fannie, or Freddie that you actually can qualify for a loan. So, having said that, the first thing you need to do is you got to call the lender up. You got to get an overview. You probably have a couple questions for them, kind of get a feel for what the process is. 99 out of 100 times, they're going to have you go and fill out the online application, which is number 2 here. You just fill out an online application. If you can do it on a phone, like with me, if you could do it on a phone, then it's real easy if you know how to use a phone app. But if you have a computer, it's super easy. So I always recommend that if you have access to a computer, a desktop or a laptop, I would do the application on a computer. However, if you're really good on a phone, it doesn't really matter. So you just call Yellow up, then you do the online application. They'll send you the link for it. And then the Yellow will evaluate your application and come up with a program that would probably best suit your needs. Okay. The next step is something I do that most don't. Most lenders are going to evaluate your applications and get back to you and say, here's the program that probably best fits your needs. Here's the documentation I need. What I do is I go over all your options and I'm going to present all the options to you so that you know what you're doing out there. And if you know what you're doing, that's how you really save money, because the home might dictate, or the property might dictate what kind of loan you go with. So you might plan on going with a conventional loan with 5% down, but because the property needs some fix up, you might look at a down payment assistance conventional loan instead, or a FHA loan, same thing. But if I didn't tell you about how down payment assistance works on a conventional loan, then you wouldn't have known that, and you probably would pass that property up, even though it might be perfect if all you did was paint and put some carpet in. Okay, so basically, again, you must start here. You call them up, you do the app, they evaluate your information, they come up with a program. You then supply some documentation. The documentation is what's required by FHA, VA, Fannie or Freddie, which is usually, in my case, I'm going to ask you for a couple 1 month's pay stubs, which is usually a couple pay stubs, a couple W-2s for the last 2 years. And this is if you're not self-employed. A couple of W-2s, pay stubs, where we might need a verification, depends on how long you've been at your job or if you've had multiple jobs. We'll get the verification also. Copy your driver's license if it's easy for you to send us, and sometimes bank statements. But mainly, we need your income information. And so I get that documentation. And then with that, we can go and compute it how FHA, VA, Fannie, and Freddie compute your income, because how you look at your income and how they look at your income are usually two different things. Okay. Then also, and I forgot to say, if you're self-employed, we get your tax returns. That's the only difference. If you're not self-employed, I don't need your tax returns. Okay, because they're not required by FHA, VA, Fannie, or Freddie, where they are required for self-employed people. So then we get you pre-approved through either an automated underwriting system. Okay, so that's actually FHA or VA or Fannie or Freddie's automated underwriting system. You run through it. They go through 1,000 different scenarios, and then it says whether you're approved. Okay, you're pre-approved. Okay, then if we need to, we'll also have you go through our in-house underwriter. That's usually we only need to do that is if you have some special circumstances. But the bottom line is either way, you want to be pre-approved with an underwriting decision. That's what makes it ironclad because you don't want to find out a week before the closing that you didn't get pre-approved right and you're going to lose your earnest money, appraisal money, and inspection money. Okay, so basically real simple. You call me up, do the online app. We go over your. I go through all your options. I explain those options to you on a phone, on a Zoom, whatever. We get some documentation. We then finalize the pre-approval. I give you a pre-approval letter. What that is, I max you out. Okay, on a sales price based on how much money you were going to put down. So if the max you could go is 500,000, you will get a lender letter for that. Okay, at that point, you can then go shopping for a home, which is right here. And then after that, you go find a home and then you close. Okay. The pre approval lender, I'll go back to that real quick for a second. A lot of times, especially as we move more into a little bit more of a buyer's market now, you don't always want them to know. So if you're going to go get a home that's 450, not 500, you might want to. I will give you an additional lender letter for whatever you're going to offer the price at. So in other words, if you're going to put in an offer of 450, okay, I'll get you a lender letter for 450. Okay, and if you don't get that home, you don't get this home. If I have to give you 10, 20 lender letters, not a big deal. Okay, but it's just however you want. Some people and some realtors want me to max it out. Then others want me to give a lender letter for each time you put in an offer and for that specific amount. Okay, so anyways, I hope that helps. Again, this can be done. I've got people pre-approved in a couple hours before most. Usually, what I say is let us take 24 hours and get it done. And so, if you were to call me up today, it's Thursday. You could easily be out and shopping for a home on Friday. Anyways, if you have any questions or any concerns, please give me a call. Other than that, I hope you have a great day. Thanks.